Religia este o armă puternică pentru rușii care au început războiul din Ucraina. Folosirea ortodoxiei cu scopuri manipulative i-a determinat pe ucraineni să-și protejeze populația și în acest plan. În viziunea Moscovei, Ucraina, poporul ucrainean și o biserică ortodoxă independentă a acestei țări nu au dreptul să existe. Atacurile asupra libertății religioase sunt folosite de ruși prin războaie hibride și în alte state din regiune. Discutăm întreaga situație cu Viktor Yelenski, reprezentantul Kievului pentru probleme religioase și etnice. Sunt Cristina Cileacu, începe Pașaport diplomatic. Viktor Yelenski, head of Ukraine State Service for Ethnic Policy and Freedom of Conscience, welcome to Diplomatic Passport.
Thank you.
We are talking today about religion and to be more clear about the influence of church, especially in our part of the world. In case of Ukraine, it's a special situation because the Ukrainian church wants to become of its own, it no longer belonging to the Russian Orthodox Church. And still the Russian Orthodox Church is insisting to put pressure when it comes to Ukrainian and their way of praying. How come the Church of Moscow has so much influence in Ukraine still?
I do believe that Moscow Church lost its influence, and tens of thousands of priests said we cannot raise the name of Patriarch Kirill as our Lord and our Father, because he lost his moral capital, and he made such statement which is in contrary not only with human moral but also with Christianity dogma and with Orthodox teaching. Probably the most famous or notorious among this statement is the statement that those Russian occupiers who will be killed on the battle line would have eternal life. It's something like jihadist.
Like Islam, jihad,
yeah. Jihadist concept, and something absolutely contrary to Orthodox teaching, which is about peace, which is about love, which is about fraternity. That is why 400 priests, headed by two metropolits of Ukrainian Orthodox Church of Moscow Patriarchate, addressed to primate of this church and asked him to convene the council and break all ties with Moscow.
But Moscow is still influent. That was my question. How come the Moscow church, the Russian Orthodox Church, has so much power? It doesn't come from God for sure.
This power probably inspired by centuries of poisoning of brains and hearts of flocks. Because they tried to demonize the West, the Catholics, the Unionites, that everything that is not only non-Orthodox, but also non-Russian. The Orthodox faith in Moscow way of thinking is only Moscovite model of Orthodoxy. And Greek model or Armenian model is very, very, very suspicious. But actually, once again, Ukrainian Orthodox Church of the Moscow Patriarchate is now trying to do everything to distance from Moscow Patriarchate. And all what Ukrainian state wants is not to change a calendar or not to change liturgical customs, not to be the part of another church, not to self-proclaim autocephaly, but just break ties with Moscow Patriarchate. That is very, very important for us. And 2 months ago, our parliament voted for a law on strengthening and defend the constitutional order in the sphere of activity of religious organizations. And according to this law, activity of Russian Orthodox Church, and then it's direct quote from the resolution of Parliamentary Assembly of Council of Europe, which is continuation of regime of Putin, prohibited in Ukraine.
There is a situation in Ukraine with priests that preaches in both Romanian language and Old Slavic language. There are only 4 parishes nearby Odessa that are under the Ukrainian church. The rest of the priests that are preaching in Romanian language prefer to stay with the Russian Orthodox Church. In your view, as an expert on religion, what is their motivation?
There are a lot of. First of all, inertia and tradition. But we try to propose solution of this issue. Within Romanian Orthodox Church exists Ukrainian Vicariate for Ukrainians, and this Vicariate subordinated to Patriarch of Bucharest and all Romania. What we proposed is to create vicariate for Romanian national minority with the center in Chernivtsi or in Odessa, whatever, subordinated to Metropolitan of Kiev and all Russian Ukraine. We can guarantee that people belonging to Romanian national minority would be provided with all possibilities to preserve their liturgical customs, their language, Romanian language in service, and just and as intense relations with Romanian Church as they want, and it would be mirror situation for both Ukrainian minority in Romania and Romanian minority in Ukraine. And what we need for this is the recognition of Orthodox Church of Ukraine from the side of Romanian Orthodox Church. As you know, during the history, nation, the majority of members of which confess Orthodoxy, gaining the independence, asked Patriarch of Constantinople, Ecumenical Patriarch, to bestow them autocephalous status. There were a case with Church of Serbia, with Church of Romania, with Church of Georgia, with Church of Albania, with Church of Czech and Slovak lands, with Church of Poland, so with Church of Moscow, by the way. And we think that this is a time to Romanian Orthodox Church also to recognize Orthodox Church of Ukraine, and inter-church relation would be raised at the same level as the relation between our states and our societies and between our people.
And what are your signs? You are visiting Romania now. We are filming this interview in Bucharest, and you had a lot of meetings. You will be having a lot of meetings. Is your mission going to be a successful one? What do you think?
I think I'm in the process. It's not easy. I have had some promising signs, some not very promising. But I'm in process, and as you know, Christians must be optimistic, so I am optimistic.
The priests that are serving in Romanian language in Ukraine also don't want to be under the Romanian Orthodox Church. How do you explain that?
There are some reasons for this. Some priests are very conservative. Some priests are under the old influence of superstitions and very, how to say, anti-Western ideas, which were very popular within the Russian Orthodox Church. But I do believe that we should address them. We should remind them that Orthodoxy, it's first of all Christianity. Orthodox believer, he is first of all Christian, and secondly, he is Orthodox. That is why Orthodoxy is a religion of freedom. This is a religion of human dignity. This is a religion of love. Orthodoxy preserves the idea of locality. It means that when Patriarch of Constantinople bestowed Tomos of autocephaly to Orthodox Church of Ukraine, he bestowed this Tomos not only for ethnic Ukrainians, but for Romanian, Gagauz.
For everyone living in Ukraine.
Yeah, everyone. And by the way, for Ukrainian government. It's stressed in this Tomos. So we can be within the same institutional framework and preserve our ethnic personality, our ethnic identity, our ethnic culture, which is extremely important in the time of Russian aggression. I would like to remind you that soldiers and officers in front line normally have nicknames to coordinate, to have links. And there are a lot of people who have nicknames suggested about their originality, ethnic originality. Romanian, Greek, Gypsy, Poles, and so on and so forth. So our enemy goal to divide Ukrainians, political Ukrainian nation, among the ethnic lines failed. As well as to forge fifth column and to appoint priests and bishops from Ukrainian Orthodox Church of Moscow Patriarchate as a provider of so-called Ruski Mir, Russian world. Actually, when Russian world came, the religious freedom stopped. I especially would stress that Russian Orthodox Church blessed Russian occupiers who killed more than 40 priests, muftis, pastors and rabbis. Some of them were in liturgical vestment when they were killed. And they ruined, demolished more than 630 sacral buildings in Ukraine. Some of them to the stretch. For example, in Kyiv region, during the 2-month occupation, they destroyed at least several monuments of sacral architecture and history, wooden church and so on and so forth. That is why those who helped Ukraine helped to establish religious freedom, actually, because Russian Orthodox Church is the worst enemy of religious freedom.
The Christianity, as you said, is a religion of peace, of love, of being optimist, of sharing with the other. But we see the religion as well used as threat. And we see that in Russia, we see that in Romania, we see that in Ukraine, we see that in Republic of Moldova, just to name a few countries. Is that Christianity?
The quarrel about dignity of Christianity and not dignity of Christians is 20 centuries old. Some people say we are still young Christians. And some people say Christian era is over. But very often I was witnessed the examples of Christian self-sacrifice during this war and before this war, and in Africa, for example, in Europe, in Asia, there is concept or hypothesis, let me say, of prominent American sociologist Peter Sorokin, who said that normally the vast majority of people are not very moral or not moral. But during the wars in plural, during the major crisis, this vast majority goes to poles. The poles of dignity and high morale and poles of dignity. So we can see during the war the high examples of human self-sacrifice and
the low one.
The lowest.
Because you are also in charge of the ethnic policies of Ukraine, before the Russians started the war in your country, the relationship between Romanians and Ukrainians were not very good, we have to admit that. There were some problems as well with the Romanian minority in Ukraine. How is now the situation considering the change of our relation?
Actually, what I must agree with you, that now, of course, the Romanian-Ukrainian relations probably is in the peak of centuries, or probably forever. And what concerns rights of Romanian national minorities, just before the visit to Bucharest, I spent a couple of hours with our Deputy Ministry for Education, and I had a chance to, how to say, went through textbooks in Romanian, and it's impressive. It's impressive. First of all, Ukraine has 59 schools where educational process fully in Romanian language. And additionally, 33 schools were mixed Ukrainian and Romanian language. And state, Ukrainian state, provide these establishments, these schools, with textbooks on math, geometry, chemistry, all the stuff, including Romanian language, Romanian literature, world literature. We had decisive steps in this way within 2 last years. And one more, mentioning about Council of National Minorities, which is established by, according to law, and where for now 18 national minorities have their representation. Of course, also a Romanian minority.
Viktor Yelenski, thank you so much for this interview.
Thank you for your interest for my country.
Atât pentru astăzi, dar rămânem în continuare online pe pagina de Facebook a emisiunii și pe contul nostru de X. Revenim cu subiecte noi din lumea diplomației și a politicii externe, vinerea viitoare de la 11:30 și în reluare sâmbătă, după miezul nopții. La revedere!